One of the cornerstones of Houston Life is to highlight Houstonians who are hitting it hard every day to follow their passion, to support their families, and to better this community.
Yeah, one of those people is Tassos Katsaonis, the founder and CEO of Breadman Baking Company. Just 5 years ago, he decided to leave his career and follow a dream he had had since he was a young boy. That dream, Tessa? To make bread. Inside this 40,000 square foot building east of downtown Houston, the employees at Breadman Baking Company are hard at work, making focaccia, sourdough, and dozens of other delicious flavors and types of bread. It's a process with a lot of moving parts and high-tech machinery. Tassos Katsaonis is the founder and CEO.
Hi, Drew. We've been in this facility now for 2 years. We outgrew the old space. We were getting demands for our products from outside of the Houston market. In order for us to accommodate that, we had to take a completely different approach to our production.
In business for just over 5 years, Breadman Baking Company is rapidly growing.
Now we have product across 10 to 11 states.
Before bread making became Tassos's business, it was his family tradition. You grew up baking with your grandmother, right?
I did, yeah. When my parents immigrated here from Greece in the mid-70s, supermarkets at that time were kind of still very foreign to them. And when they went to the supermarket, they found very sugary white bread. And so sugary white bread was also very foreign to them. So my mother, having grown up in our village in Greece, would bake bread with my grandmother. So my mom started baking the old world rustic artisan style bread that we're accustomed to now, that they were accustomed to then. And so we picked up that hobby and did it for our home twice a week. And we did that all the way up until I graduated high school and started college.
And making bread was also his stress reliever.
I started making bread out of the house, really more as a way to escape kind of the stress and the rigors of my career, which I wasn't very satisfied with. And I was looking for a change, but I didn't know what that change was.
Tassos worked a corporate job, but he knew he wanted more. It was his wife, radio personality Rula Christie, who urged him to follow his passion.
She said, I really feel like this is your thing, and I really think you should pursue this. And I told her I thought she was crazy, to be frank. I was like, you're crazy. We have responsibilities, we have bills, we have children. You know, starting a business this late in life with a family, that's a big risk. And she says, yeah, but I really think this is your thing. I think this is what you're supposed to do, so I really want you to try it.
Tassos took the leap.
So we'll put on our hairnets first.
Okay. The team at Breadman follows a strict food safety policy.
There we go.
And quality is always key.
We don't use bleached flours or cheap ingredients. We go through 200,000 pounds of flour here a month, and it's high quality flour that we use. Our sourdoughs are a traditional sourdough that is made with flour, water, and salt, and that's it. It's real fermentation that we use. It's a real sourdough starter that we produce here in-house and that we maintain in-house. That's how I learned how to make bread when I was a kid. The difference is now they're in 30-gallon tubs on wheels and they roll around the floor all day long.
This looks a little bit different than when you were first baking in your kitchen, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. The most I could bake out of my house at home was 5 loaves at a time, and I thought that was insane. And now here we are doing 25, 30,000 units a day, and
no big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
And I'm home by 7.
That's awesome. But it's not all automated. Much of the product is still created by hand.
There's our rosemary focaccia, and our team members here, Anna, is hand docking it. These are the same focaccia that go to Sweet Green across Houston and soon to be across Texas next week, but also to all the Postino stores that when you buy a panini and eat a panini at Postino, it's one of these hand-docked focaccias.
I've had that focaccia many times.
It's my favorite bread that we produce here.
I'm a huge fan too.
Still the most labor-intensive product we make, but we love it. We won't do it any other way because it just doesn't come out the same if it's all done automatically. A lot of people don't know that when they go to every Postino's in Houston or Denver or parts of Arizona and even California and Atlanta, they're eating Breadman Baking Company bread. Same with Original Chop Shop, all the Sweet Greens now in Texas, Joey Restaurant in the Galleria, plus Miami, now Dallas. When people recognize that it's our product that they're eating in the restaurants, you know, that's the best feeling in the world when they look at you and go, man, that was really good. Like, it's a genuinely really good product.
Through all the success, Tasso says it all boils down to family.
The first time my mother saw this space, my parents came to visit us, and the moment my mom walks in, she immediately breaks down into tears. And that's when it hit me that, wow, this, you could almost call this kind of living the American dream. Because my parents came here to this country with $100 in a suitcase between the two of them in 1975. And they came here so that they can give their kids a better life. And I think it's our responsibility to ensure that they made the right choice by doing that. And so that's also what kind of drives me waking up every day to come here and do what we do here every day. There's been very difficult times and peaks and valleys, but I would never change it. I would do it all over again.
It was really incredible to see behind the scenes of this operation. Clearly, you can tell just how hard he's worked to make this happen. And I think it's really sweet that Tassos gives his wife, Rula, the credit for saying, hey, I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone, and you got to fly, buddy.
Well, you need someone to believe in you, right? It's so important because we are thinking, okay, I'm going to bet on myself, I'm going to bet on myself. But you need someone sometimes to, like the mama bird, to push you out of the nest, say, hey, you got to fly at some point here. And that was so beautiful. I think you like making people cry. I think you're either pranking them or making us cry. I think that's what I'm learning about you. Why weren't they wearing gloves in the...
You know, that's a great question, and a lot of people ask that. So it turns out, because they have such a large-scale operation, there are very stringent safety standards, and because of all of the equipment, I had to take off my necklace, my bracelet, my watches, rings, all of that. So gloves can actually get stuck to the dough and sucked in.
Interesting.
So it's safer for them to... Everyone has to wash their hands. It's very clean. And also that dough is baked at a very high heat, so any potential germs are cooked right out of it. But the finished product is delicious, and keep an eye out for them around town.
I will. So here we have some of this awesome bread. When we go to Whole Foods, I mean, he's obviously nationwide with this thing, but when we go to Whole Foods, the bread man is... You
could ask the baker, hey, I want some of the Bread Man Baking Company bread. So this is like a whole wheat sourdough, but many restaurants in Houston serve their bread, and you've probably been eating it for years without even knowing it. So that's the story.
I know, I probably have.
And we're going to have it up online, the video and an article up on HoustonLife.tv later this afternoon.
Awesome and inspiring. Okay.